Ladies and gentlemen, this interesting looking gentleman is named Avery Svendsgaard, and it's a Norwegian, correct?
Yeah.
We met at the Scottish Kilt Shop production a few weeks ago. That was fun production,
Yeah,
right?
it was. That was really.
We both, I kind of came at some point behind the camera. I did like filming pictures and videos, but I also wear a kilt for the first time. And I don't think you ever wear a kilt before, did you?
No, I never had, and I have to say it was a better experience than I thought it would be.
Was it fun?
Yeah, it was really fun. Just like
The location where we did over the bridge, guys, it's obscene. You have a look on the city. It's the first time I've been at that spot, but if you ever saw those pictures, this is a really nice background. It's free. It's very few people know where it is, so I can take you there, and Avery as well. So going back to the Avery, as you can see, he's not only a musician, but he's also a model.
yeah.
How it feels to be a male model?
Well, I mean, it's pretty good. I'd imagine it's pretty different from being a female model because there's a lot less makeup involved.
As you can see on my production today, quite a few girls have quite a bit of makeup.
Yeah.
Glitter and all that stuff. So, but we're looking to collaborate with you on today's production, having your music together with Anna, creative part. So, are you okay with having your music on my channel?
Yeah, that sounds pretty sweet.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about your music career and your game designer.
That's more of a hobby. The game design, but music is like my main thing. I study at Lehman University in the Bronx. I do the music program there. But
by the way, let me interrupt him.
Yes.
This month we're gonna have a couple of gigs together. On the 24th, I have a wedding to film, and Avery gonna be me and Avery will do the DJ part together. So it's Russian, Bukharian, Gorsky music. So hopefully Avery will get to play a little bit of Bukharian, the Kaifuim, all that kind of music. So he'll have fun, and hopefully the Gorsky and Bukharian families, they will get to hear his music and electronic guitar, like a piano. So hopefully they like that part. And I have another bar mitzvah in June, I believe, July 14, and Avery will be also a DJ, hopefully at that gig as well. So stay tuned. We'll have some live feed from the both events on those days. Go back. Let's talk back to your music. Pardon me for the little advertisement of the upcoming stuff.
You're more the promoter. But about my music, If you want to understand what I do in terms of music, the main thing to learn is that the original name of the piano as an instrument was the piano forte, and eventually the forte part kind of got chopped off, and people also forgot that it's a loud instrument. And so it shouldn't really be surprising that like a person who's like mostly a rock musician, someone that plays really loud music, can kind of do that just using a piano.
Okay.
But I also have so even though that's not something that's really going to apply to a lot of other people's circumstances, I have a lot of advice about, I have a lot of thoughts about creativity and how to be a musician that I feel like you'd be interested in for the how-to
Give them
aspect
one.
of your channel.
Give them a couple.
Well, there are three aspects of. Can we scroll down?
Yes.
There are three aspects of
How far do you want to
music,
scroll?
basically. That's fine. There's performing, there's composing, and there's like the production quality side. And those three parts all kind of share a core of musicality that you get from having good ears. And sometimes people think like they're born with good ears, or they'll have like a golden ear, but there's to a certain extent that's true, but you can definitely train your ears. I use an app called Tenuto for that. It has like questions about like it'll play a chord and you have to like identify the chord, and these exercises like they're really useful for just being able to hear what you're doing more accurately.
Become a musician. Did your family play a big role in this, or it was all you alone?
Well, my family definitely supported me, but I'm the first person in my family to try and be like a pro. I have some friends from high school that were also very supportive. I played in a rock band for a long time at high school. I played with some people in Lehman, and I'm just always meeting
Okay.
people. And
How do you find your gigs as a musician?
well, that's really the question, isn't it? So the main thing is I haven't really been playing like really great gigs yet. I found a couple of paying things
I'm
through Craigslist.
pitching to you,
but
like, hopefully we can do a joint production here at your space.
Oh, yeah, well,
that
that's-
would be a nice stage here.
That's why I mentioned-
to perform.
That's why I mentioned Craigslist, because that's how we met. That's how like there's a lot of legitimate stuff on there. Although there are also like horror stories, but I haven't encountered any of those personally yet. So
Okay.
I think it's a good place.
They're all different. You like the Craigslist?
Yeah. I think it's very no nonsense. It's very direct, and you can meet a lot of different kinds of people there.
Any advice for the aspiring producers or recording engineers?
Well, the best producers that I know are always trying to like figure out how things work at a more technical level, and they'll hear sounds and they'll just go back to the studio and give it their best shot to try and make that, and like they'll be doing exercises like that. You need a different kind of ear for being a producer, but you can still train it much like you can your music theory ear.
We have here amazing studios for music and recording, and facilities that Space have, state of the art, and not that many places have that kind of equipment. What we can do here, so you guys in the audience will enjoy it.
Well, that's obviously very nice to have that kind of gear, but you don't need that, and no one should.
It could be recorded with a phone and very little equipment.
Yeah, really the thing you need like really good gear for, in my experience, that it really helps with is to try and get either like a pop kind of sound or to get like really crystal clarity with really low background noise and distortion. And that's obviously like that's something that's very hard to get with low budget gear, but if you're willing to work around your limitations, you can make something really awesome despite that. So I don't think that anyone should.
But people should do with low budget stuff. But my question is, what kind of music we can create that could not be built and done without substantial investment in amazing studio, amazing equipment, amazing space, like a great house? Is there like stuff that could not be done with a semi-pro?
Yeah, top 40 radio can't be made a semi-pro. If you're trying to make it sound like that, you need the upper tier of equipment. At least I think. I never owned that kind of equipment. So,
what's your advice on songwriting? How to write a song?
This is
Have you heard my songs?
No, I haven't actually. You should show me.
I'll definitely show you. I did a song for my wife for the Valentine Day, and she was crying. I never sing, so that was the first time. And then I did a song recently, a few weeks ago, for my daughter. She turned 16, and I sing for her for her birthday. It's basically a father-daughter song, but it's mostly like I'm dying. Basically, I dead, and she has a wedding, and they play that song on her wedding day. Like basically my kind of advice to her if I'm not here. So that kind of song. Hopefully, it's catch up. So far, it's getting some routes and moving up. In search.
Very fatherly.
Well, if I'm not here, so at least she will have a song for me.
Yeah,
so
and you have to write what you know, is what they say. But my advice about songwriting is because doing a creative process, you have to do it differently every time if you want to have a different result and not just write the same song over and over again. So you can't think about it like a formula, like a quadratic equation. You have to think about it more in terms of like you're building up your creative muscles, which is why exercises are useful. You're not going to write songs.
Is it best to do it at night when it's quiet, or you do it on a subway? How it comes to you? You sit and say, I'm going to sit right now, I'm going to write a song. Or it's just a creative process that comes to you like on a beach or on a snapshot.
When you're gonna like make a time to sit down and write songs, that's a way of putting like a lot of pressure on yourself. And some people, I feel like it would be better for them to do that. But for me, I prefer to have it happen more spontaneously. So I'll make time where I do exercises to keep my creative muscles strong. But I won't generally like be like, okay, I'm gonna write a song during this period, and I'll mark it in my
I
calendar.
force, like, when I go to museums, I go to Broadway show, I go to see art and see things, and all of a sudden, something I might not necessarily click at that moment, but later on when I process other ideas of Picasso or like Michelangelo, at some point that hits me. Okay, it kind of helps me to think, be creative, and when maybe 10 hours later, 5 hours later,
Yeah.
I get my angle at this. So I feed on that energy.
That's actually a writing technique I learned from Brenda Connor Bay, who was the poet laureate in Greenberg. She had us
I'm
write.
not the only one.
She
I'm
had
sure.
us, yeah, she had us write short stories, which is what we were learning at the time, based on art, and that was a really useful technique. She was really the person who introduced me to this idea of like doing short exercises in order to kind of keep your mind moving.
How do you do your lyrics?
Well,
Same or different?
lyrics are. I generally prefer to start with lyrics and then move to music based off the lyrics, because I find that words tend to like imply a certain sort of melody with the way that they're normally spoken.
Interesting.
And that's something that.
I need silence
Yes.
for my lyrics. I need complete. I go on a boat. I go on the woods, and when I hunt on my property, when I fish, that's when I get the words come clear to me. Do you do it in concert? Like, how do you need noise?
I find that either complete silence or just like some kind of like
At night?
neutral background noise, like an air conditioner or a fan that doesn't really you can tune
no-
out. Those are the two situations that I
I
find
see.
work best. But I have written things in noisy situations at trains or
Okay,
at parties.
lyrics versus poetry. How do you write poetry? It's different, right?
Well, lyrics is a type of poetry.
Right, but there is a distinction, right?
Yeah.
You need a
When
rhythm.
when
you
it
need
when it comes to poetry, it's much.
deeper.
No, it's very slow. It's like, for me at least, it's something which is.
Is it hard time? Like,
Yes, I find it
struggling.
I find it much more difficult to write poetry than anything else. Like even a very small amount, because it has to be perfect.
Okay. Do you want to finish the interview with a little poem by yourself?
First let's
Okay,
share
let's-
how to find me.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Very important.
Guys, if you want that guy to come back and give you some points on lyrics, music, and stuff, maybe you can comment and reply and like him the interview, so I would know that you guys really enjoy Avery and his ideas, and hopefully then he'll be back.
Or if you want to
do it.
hire me as a model, that would be nice too.
Yes, as a model, musician, I'm hiring him as the DJ for the gigs that
Yeah,
I have.
I guess
So
I can do that.
so that's another. Wait, go ahead.
You can find me on Twitter at 3_A, 3_V, 3_S, so AVS with 3 underscores before each time. And you can find me on Instagram at jester_prawn, like the it's not a fish, like the shellfish, a prawn and a jester. You can also find me on YouTube. I'm sure we'll have a link in the description. There, my YouTube name is just my name, Avery Svendsgaard. If you can spell that, then good for you. And yeah, I guess I'd like to finish with a poem, if you don't mind.
Take it away.
How vast the sky, how small myself. This whole realm of all my light is but a pinprick in its eye. But I am all that I can see, and all that I can see is me. Me and the sky forever dance together in infinity. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.